Y empezamos con la última partida de cuartos. Sky Striker contra Crystron. Muy variado, ¿eh? Muy variado. Y bien. Nos topamos en CDMX. Saludos desde Chihuahua. Saludos, Teo. La entrevista. Nada. Que tienen que entrar en tiempos. Vale. Vamos a ver. Rosell. En este caso, de Europa. Contra Isaías de América. De Estados Unidos. Ha briqueado. No tiene inclusión. Empieza con inclusión, con lo que va a poder añadir un monstruo Crystron. Parece ser que Rosell está pensando si tirar algo. Le enseña la mano. Le dice que bien. Se añade directamente Sulfador. Sulfador, el problema de empezar con esto es que se va a bloquear Isaías a jugar únicamente máquinas, con lo que no veremos ese puenteo con Engine, en este caso de... ¿cómo se dice? Engine de Canine, ¿vale? Porque no lo va a poder puentear correctamente. Nibiru sí que es cierto contra Sky. No es la mejor carta del mundo. Así que a ver qué tal. Aquí se puede tirar... depende mucho los ratios de Crystron que esté jugando. Si no juega... se puede tirar Smiger más, en este caso, Tristalos. Sería un cal correcto. Porque no está jugando el Trisben. Va a hacer mágica para, en este caso, revivir Tristalos. Yo es lo primero que haría, porque al final si te va a hacer una disrupción aquí, vas a poder. Y no hace... ¿Hace Smiger? No, bro. Primero Smiger. Se deja el Smiger. Me ha dejado loco. No sé por qué ha hecho esta. A ver, que no varía en el combo, pero yo creo que lo hubiera hecho bastante distinto. Hace retirar para popear. Invoca 2 niveles 5 y aparte, como se ha destruido el Skeletus, va a invocar directamente un nivel 2 de la zona del destierro. Y vamos a ver una mesa estándar acompañada de Infinity. Creo que también puede mejorar la mesa porque si hace Dragster y luego invoca la... Sí, tiene una disrupción más. De hecho, esto está... Está jugado regular. Porque podía haber hecho Dragster. Dragster se añadía cualquier cosa, descartaba, se petaba el azul Fafnir, invocaba otro nivel 5 y tenía la negación de mágica o trampa. Aquí lo hizo mal. Aquí, a ver, mal no, pero podía haber metido una negate más. Podía haber metido una negate más. Sí, ya voy comentando, ya, no te preocupes.
Allow Isaias to summon a monster from the deck if Rosell does anything on her turn.
And I mean, still look at the amount of cards in the end. Sky Striker is a very interesting deck. You know, it used to play as more of a grind deck. Nowadays, it has some similarities with Tempai in a way, where you can go second, just, you know, break the field and then just close the
yo creo que se lo va a comer,
a lot of damage done to that linkage. And there it is. Rosalie has drawn into her 6th card. What are we gonna start with this duel with?
Algo ha pasado.
In the meantime, I believe we can quickly go back to us while they wait for the final setup and clarification.
Yeah, Rosalie is one of those players.
Eso es Infinity, perdías a Nibiru ya en ese spot.
Monsters in the hand, so the canines are going to not be of any use for Isaias for now.
Vale, vuelve la partida.
Going straight back into action now. Rosalie looking like she's hanging on to a Book of Eclipse and then wondering what other options there are in hand.
Yeah, Cyber Dragon Infinity, great at stopping one card, but with a deck constructed like what Rosalie is using here, there's probably usually plenty of ways to force that out and continue to destroy all the monsters that Isaias has on the field. And it's going to be start with the normal summon of Sky Striker Ace Ray.
That's an interesting way to start things off.
Creo que acaba de hacer efecto.
Have we used the effect?
Aquí es un slot interesante para hacer Infinity, pero se podría comer un Widow Anchor. También tiene la trampa para autopetarse el Infinity, que yo creo que podría ser una jugada interesante. Ese tipo hacer Infinity, te hacen Widow Anchor, encadenas Tristalos, haces la trampa, te petas el Infinity, pero también puede negar directamente el Link. Yo digo que si petas el Link, te recupera la raya. Es que este tercero se va a añadir una mágica del arquetipo.
And with Ray in the graveyard, Rose in the deck, this is a way to get both those monsters onto the field.
Is it going to be used to add, or are we going to save it until we use the other effect?
Hace efecto de Tristalos directamente para invocar.
Activate the effect of his Crystron monster on the field to special summon and synchro summon.
Yeah, perhaps we will see that powerful.
Y vamos a ver ese Dragster en acción. Aquí sinceramente depende mucho, porque es que tiene 6 cartas en mano. Es que es lo que os digo. Con 6 cartas en mano, Engage fuerza una. Y este tipo de decks es que se juegan Contrast, mucho Breaker, pero mucho Breaker. Y aquí lo bueno es que como no se está jugando a tiempo, Sky puede jugar muy tranquilo.
Much better for her than it was for Felipe moments ago.
But I think you can tell Isaias has done its homeworks, you know, yesterday night. Probably is aware what he's up against and was aware and set up in a way where, you know, you can have this multiple spell and trap negation.
Yo banearía antes la Hornet Thrones que tocar Engage.
So hopefully he did a little more homework after the interview.
Definitely.
Maybe getting confused between all of the other European players who seems to have brought Malice.
¡Ojo!
Right now, the Sky Striker Ace
Mega Fleet!
Mega Fleet!
Wow, okay.
Mega Fleet just taking care of Infinity.
Esa no la veía, bro. Esa no la veía. Esa no la veía. Madre mía. Le acaba de playar el Infinity.
Wow.
He didn't look that surprised, to be honest. He just kind of did it. So maybe he kind of knew it was coming. Very heads up here. No need to negate
Tira
all the
Eclipse.
clips, because if you do,
Engage.
the monster is just gonna, you know, it's already used its effect anyway. And
might as well try and hopefully get a draw at the end phase or something like that.
yeah, well, not only that, but it leaves a
El Mega Fleet te pide de fusión un Ciberdragón y un cualquier monstruo de la extra Monster Zone. Entonces, ha fusionado con su propia carta. Madre mía. Esa sí que no la veía,
Linkage or multi-roll.
El único problema es que ahora tiene bloqueada la extra Monster Zone, pero si juega justo, si juega el Engage, se puede quitar esa carta. Aquí se va a invocar, yo diría, a Kagari. Kagari va a recuperar la Engage y va ahora. Esta Engage, creo que le falta una mágica. Claro, es que es eso, Vandron.
I mean, I say he may not have been aware, but surely if he was, he just wouldn't have allowed the Rose to be, the Zero to be summoned to the extra deck there, extra monster zone.
Yeah, but flawless performance here, as you can see, summoning first the Mega Fleet to the extra monster zone, then putting it face down. Does not matter because you can get rid of it.
1-2.
Now, yeah, just gonna show how much attack.
Y le gana por el ataque.
How much attack does it have?
7. No, it has the boost, no?
But does it not get? Does it get the boost?
Es cierto, tenía Nibiru, eso es verdad.
Yeah, it's the 100 for each spell.
Yeah.
Linkage gives it a boost, but is that not if you have light and dark or something, or is it if you have 3
Engage?
spells you get the boost?
¿De aquí que se va a pillar? ¿La que peta cartas? No, no creo que haga eso.
Because you have both Ray and the Link Masters, no?
Engage.
Yeah, with the Sky Striker 0.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just need a light and a dark.
Yeah, in the graveyard.
Shizuku.
Okay.
Para buscar.
That's basically 2700, yeah.
No pinta bien Paisayas, porque la Crystron, el recovery que va a tener no está mal, pero no es una gran cosa. Set 2, set 3, set 4. ¡Set 5! ¡Madre mía! ¡La roca! ¡Isayas! Hace bien esto porque se va a recuperar, la Raye va a volver y le tira a Nibiru.
Well, it has to be in main phase 2, right?
Our main phase 2, yeah, before the end phase.
Wait, can you not bring back Ray? Maybe she just doesn't want it.
No lo va a invocar la Raye. Sabe que tiene Nibiru.
Right?
Sabe que tiene Nibiru.
Yeah, maybe she just doesn't need it.
Creo que no va a hacer Raye. Si no hace Raye y le juega en torno al Nibiru, clavísima, ¿eh?
Yeah, it's a pass.
Maybe it's just a play around Azuna. Maybe that's a potential read from Rosalie. If no cards have been used, there's still like 3 or 4 cards in Isaiah's hand.
Y tiene doble Fugalos, doble Nibiru. No tiene jugada, ¿eh?
Yeah, totally. And now plays back to Isaias, and although, you know, his field for the most part has been broken, he still is holding 6 cards in hand.
Yeah, here comes Inclusion again. Gonna get to add another
Inclusion para
Crystron.
añadir.
This time, the Inclusion is backed up by a pile
Le dice que
of
bien.
Crystons in the grave. One of them being Solfefnir, which you can use to discard another Crystron, summon itself, and destroy a card you control, and that this will not lock you into machines, so maybe you can get 2 level 5s into play. Also, very heads up, not leaving any cards in your hand against the K9 deck, because they can take advantage of that just by normal summoning.
El problema es que creo que está Brick.
At least one of them is
Calez.
engage, so really heads up play.
Calez, Sarkanon.
Exclusively, you know, on purpose for that reason. So
I was waiting to see some old-fashioned Sky Striker interaction here with the Shark Cannon to banish from the grave.
Que ha popeado.
Alright, gonna banish the Crystron Inclusion
A la
from the
Inclusion.
graveyard to special summon back a Crystron monster from the graveyard.
Sarkanon.
See if Rosalie has a response.
ooh, and that's not quite the Shark Cannon, but it works.
No es
even
Sarkanon,
better.
pero duele
Not
más.
as close.
Sky Striker caught by the grave.
Imagine, yeah.
Va a suflear para
Nope, he's gonna
proteger.
use the Crystron cluster on called
And
by
that
the
can
grave.
play around it, a potential oversight there from Rosalie. You can shuffle one back in response to destroy the Call by the Grave. Who knew the best bit of cluster was that you just got to shuffle back a card rather than destroy a card on the field.
Sí, no se dio
Still
cuenta.
gonna shut down the Inclusion though, so not a bad thing, but not perfect.
But it'll keep
Pero tampoco
stars
comba.
in the deck.
Oof. We drawn, yeah, I think we've drawn into the second Fugalos as
Sí que
well, so
comba,
we
sí.
have 2 Fugalos
Qué
to
buena.
compete with the
Creo que lo ha hecho muy bien
primary,
Isaias.
and kind of an unfortunate series of throws there from Isaias.
Sarkanon.
Rosalie just checking again.
Si esto entra, la va a combar.
Which are the cards? Make a quick read of Solfador. They're not new, but they are a little bit under the radar, I think.
Indeed.
So back comes Solfador. Now again, we're locked into machines. So again, no canines will be hitting the table, at least from the extra deck. Gonna get to send 2 from the deck to the grave and trigger Solfador.
Se va a
here
tirar
to
una magia
summon
para recovery.
8 Crystron
Pensando si tirar Widow
monsters, so
Anchor.
maybe some more Crystrons.
A ver, tendrás que tirar Widow Anchor porque Linkage.
Alright, it's gonna be Sky Striker.
Y encadena Widow Anchor.
Try and summon a monster and then
Oof.
chain Widow
Y se lo
Anchor to
queda.
take that Crystron Solfador.
That's definitely a very, very, very good play, and as you can see, then you can send the card you control to the grave, so gets rid of the Solfador, and now
Muy
with a
buena.
new chain,
Esa ha
you
sido muy
get
buena.
so much advantage back.
Yeah, with Luna Light last round and Sky Striker H0 this
Totalmente
round, we're actually seeing a lot
GNR.
of impact from
Lo único que mi
Duelist
mazo
Advance happening
era
here
que
at the
no
World
podía hacer
Championship.
menos de 5.
Big decision here.
Aquí lo bueno es que se puede aguardar
I believe.
el efecto. Y el tema de Tristalos es que las Crystron solo juegan 2 sincronías. Entonces no es como que esté en una situación muy ventajosa. Va a hacer Link 1, cosa que me sorprende. Para sacar aquí el Scrap.
What are we making here?
Bueno, Scrap, el Clockwork Knight.
Clockwork Knight going to be on the field.
We're gonna have a read at it. It's extremely good against the Yami deck, you know, to try and have the access to Clockwork Knight eventually. But let's see.
I'm wondering why we're linking off the Tristaris for it now, though.
Yeah, we don't have much going on.
Ya ha dicho, es lo que toca, bro.
I think it might
Sí que el
be,
Mundial lo
yeah,
van
that's a
rotando por
pass from
regiones.
Isaias, and
Hace efecto, va a invocar 2, le va a popear.
So much advantage because as you can see, you can just summon both Rose and Ray and
Oh, y
then
partir la
you
trampa ya es
can
criminal.
also get into the Shizuku,
Hace efecto, le va a invocar la
possibly
Shizuku.
add a second engage,
Añade
and that
directamente
just
en la
so
Enfys
much
otra carta.
advantage.
O añade
Power
Kagari.
of the linkage Widow Anchor combo into Sky Striker Ace
Esto huele a
0.
1-0, Esto huele a 1-0 para directamente la Sky. Qué bien jugado la Sky, tú. Qué bien jugado. Me flipa.
But yeah, look at this engage back to end with the Kagari, and
I think a lot of the overlooking comes on because a lot of players are more focused on what they don't have as opposed to the cards that they do have, especially when it comes to the Sky Striker cards.
indeed.
Just saying.
I'm just really wondering what this Clockwork Knight is doing. Like, it could have been a Tristaros still. You could have synchro summoned another monster, but maybe there's just no more synchros to make. He's already been through the Skeletus and a Dawn Dragster. And I think when you include the Canines,
Yeah.
maybe you just have to cut a bunch of level 7
Vale.
synchros.
It looks cool.
True.
I love the artwork on Clockwork Knight.
Yeah, it's pretty nice looking, but now we might just be moments away from Rosalie taking this one. Basically, the main concern right now is playing around the possible disruption in the end from Isaias, but outside of that, she has plenty of damage available, and you can see when your opponent looks up in the sky and does some math, that's never a good sign, I'd say.
Vale, le va a retirar,
Sky
¿no?
Striker, Ace Zeke.
Engage. Es que...
There is the first engage for +1 of the match.
Sí, sí, no, testeo muy
Most
bien el
likely
deck.
not gonna be the last, and
Ahora todo el mundo va a tener ganas de jugar Sky, ¿tú?
when it gets to this point, this deck doesn't stop.
Manda un
You know, the
saludo para
grind.
Brunito
Feels
Papi
like
que está
it
viéndote.
gets so many
Un saludo a Brunito, bro.
Only way
Gracias
Isaias wins
por ese
this
pedazo de
game
donación.
is
Se
if
agradece un
Rosalie
montón.
Makes a slight misstep and walks into something like Nibiru, but there's probably plenty of ways in Sky Striker
Engage, a ver, aquí puede
to
ir
have a game without summoning 5
a
times,
lupear
especially
varios
when summoning
Linkage.
in the battle phase.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that.
Que subiendo de
Rosalie is
precio.
gonna- even if she walked into the Nibiru, she's going to have so many cards by the end of it.
Very true.
Pega.
Yep, and here comes the battle phase. Zeke's going to take down Clockwork Knight.
Linkage.
Hey, the Flawless is online now. So he can
Sí, sí
chain
cuenta.
here if you want.
Yeah, I think.
Is he not going to chain it?
Kagari.
He's still writing down the life
Yeah, he's
points.
probably writing down the life points, but no, he's just saying yes. I
He's-
guess he has just given up on this game altogether.
Sí,
and
es
as
OTK.
you can see here, this
Esto es
is
OTK.
gonna be too much damage to respond. This is already like around 3,000
Muy clean,
attack from this Kagari.
Me ha
and
gustado.
then
Me ha
you
gustado.
just activate it again for
También te digo, Isaías le ha
final
pasado el
life
problema de que
points.
justo ha tenido
It seems
4
like
cartas
Rosalie really
que no
has
eran contra el
tried
Peirin.
their best and makes it by closing this one out. And
Se
getting
rinde.
close to the match.
Linkeo,
attacking,
linkeo,
please.
linkeo.
I surrender.
That kind of reminds me of like the Yugi Weevil with the,
Yeah.
the breaker. Just, I'm already dead. Let him go. Let him go.
Yeah, I mean, what a show from the deck. As mentioned, we couldn't get it on stream for the entire weekend. We have been waiting, we have been hearing stories about it.
Sí, te diría que sí.
And now finally we get to see it in action, and well, I'm convinced.
Yeah, Sky Striker, definitely a solid strategy. And like I said, I think a lot of players overlooked it. They were more focused on maybe some Sky Striker cards we don't have in the TCG and maybe thought, oh, well, we don't have these particular cards that are available, you know, in other regions. So maybe the Sky Strikers aren't going to be as good. But if you actually take the time to consider and play test and try it out, you could end up not only, you know, in the top 8 of the World Championship, be one game win away from making it to the top 4 with a
Sí,
very,
podría
very
tener. Yo
unexpected
creo que,
strategy.
bueno, o lleva el
Let's
Keiju
not count
buscable.
out the Chris Ron
Eso, el
deck
Hump.
so far. I mean, he was
Eso es
basically
verdad, yo
playing
creo
with only
que el
one
Keiju
card
de
out of his
lo
opening
llevaría,
fight. None of the Nibirus did anything. The Fulas
pero
didn't do anything, and of course the Lupus
es que
didn't do
literalmente,
anything. The Chris
¿qué
Ron
otro
deck
mazo
is
hubiera
more
jugado
focused on
el,
canines than any of the other decks that
el
run
Chimera Tech?
canines, so
Únicamente
even
la
just
propia
the
Crystron.
chaotic elements often to have
¿Qué quiere
even,
que
you know,
gane?
6
Ahora
copies
mismo
of
Luna Light.
Joko, so
Me
you
gustaría
really
que
wanna
ganase
see
Luna
that
Light o
card maybe,
Crystron.
and instead just seeing the Lupus and double Nibiru. So let's see if maybe it goes a little better in game number 2.
Yeah, that's right. Our first two quarterfinal, or sorry, the first quarterfinal match was, you know, pretty quick and easy there for Julian. But the last two matches we just watched, both the players that won game 1 did end up losing the match. So down, but definitely not out.
Absolutely not. On the other end, you just gotta give credits to her for the deck building. In the end, it was also that mega fleet
El Mega Fleet la ha roto al Isaías, Cuando ha visto que le han sacado un Mega Fleet dice... Así. Ah, sí que lo están haciendo en escenario.
It's definitely out there, and I'm interested in seeing how he's gonna try to approach this matchup. Obviously, it's a deck where you really wanna go first and set up your combos, but I think it's always a matter of, do you let the Sky Striker deck go first and then try and win like that? Because it shuts down
a ver, Lancea no es la mejor carta y contra Sky tendrá Plumero, Lightning. Yo creo que ya está.
As I mentioned, he might not have been as familiar with the strategy that she brought here. Because when I was talking to him last night, he thought she was on Malice, which you're never going to want to let your opponent playing Malice go first potentially. But
la primera semifinal ya está confirmada que es Banky Soul contra Yami.
Really bad. Like that was,
ya nos falta saber la otra semifinal, que es Luna Light contra el que gane de estos.
Yeah, I mean that Mega Fleet certainly would have been a surprise. So this time you kind of know Rosalie's not going to get away with just summoning a thing. Well, there's an Infinity on the field. You're going to use that Infinity negate.
No creo que hubiese cambiado mucho.
And just say, okay, well, if you Mega Fleet it, it's already got its negate. I'm not going to be too sad.
Podría.
Just want to remove my monsters.
Yep, definitely. And I'm excited to see
a Master Duel sobre todo. Yo creo que hay mucha más chica que juega Master Duel que físico.
I mean, Rosalie thinks that,
porque noto que a veces los ambientes son muy distintos.
Aces up her sleeve, not just in the Sky Striker ace cards, but I mean also in the side decks. I can tell you there are some exciting surprises there. Don't want to reveal too much about that yet, but hopefully, we'll have also some blasts from the past that we have not seen in
el público femenino es espantado por la comunidad, no por el juego. No. No te diría que fuese eso. Simplemente te digo que generalmente las chicas tienen unos gustos distintos. ¿Sabes? Entonces, si cada 12 personas que pillas, que son chicas, una le gusta el juego, vale. Pero igual cada 15 tíos, 14 les gusta el juego. Es que el porcentaje es muy, muy distinto. Empieza el Game 2, vale. El precio nos fastidia a todos por igual, eso no es un debate. Vale, empieza con Yokul, buen inicio. Yokul añade Izuna, esta va a ser una mesa bastante mejor. Vale, añade directamente Yokul para poder combar. Se va a añadir, diría, yo creo que Lantern, porque Izuna ha visto que no hace nada. Izuna directamente. Curioso. Curioso que se añada directamente Izuna. Va a hacer ahora Extit a esa Reaper. Reaper quitará material. Y lo bueno es que gracias a Lantern va a poder puentear muy cómodamente. Lo que me estoy viendo... Guau, tiene a Splosion. A Splosion es muy buena cuenta. Es que Staker. Es que va... que va atentamente. Vale, aquí va a ir a lo que es el Lantern. Lantern le va a poder hacer el Infinitrack y con el Infinitrack va a poder jugar más tranquilamente. Efecto en este caso, de Lantern. Lantern va a revivir el Yokul. Se va a poder añadir la mágica. Me pregunto si llevará la Quick Play. Vale.
Either some field breakers or some hand traps, and again, roughly what you're up against Crystron. Sorry, yeah, maybe not so much.
No, eso no va así, bro.
But against Sky Striker, it's anyone's guess. This deck is not a popular deck. Players have to go out on their own when they build
Yo culé esto directamente. Va con bar.
Yeah, definitely off to a much better start here. And now we're going to see why these two strategies work so well together, being able to go into the Infinitrack. And that's going to be able to add Scrap Recycler, which will access the Crystron Smeagol, and all the other Crystron cards will come.
Vale, con Smeagol tiene ya aquí el full combo. Van a ser dos Omni Negates, popear de la trampa. La Quick Play creo que se la añadió, no estoy seguro. No hay Malice, no hay Malice.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen
Rapa, a ver, ahora estoy pero medianamente. Aún me quedan unos cuantos semanas para que me corte el pelo. Va a tributar para invocar el Scrap.
Obviously, as mentioned, I have also the possibility of adding, some interesting continuous spell cards to the deck. Not gonna be quite successful against the Sky Striker, but my main question is this field. How is it going to look like now that you're fully aware what you're up against and that mega fleet? So,
Yeah, I want to say the Crystron deck.
Aquí que lo va a hacer SP, que es lo más básico. Hacer SP.
Of all,
La
I
SP
feel
contra
like,
un
to be
Breaker
honest.
le puede valer.
Yummy, it's quite compact, but Crystron is just one of those decks where they just keep adding cards, they keep summoning cards in
No,
combination.
Felipe ya no está,
Pain,
nano.
you get like 3 or 4 rank 5s, and then the Crystrons giving you
No, no creo,
access to,
CG. No.
Cyber Dragon Infinity and Dawn Dragster, and Sky Strikers obviously need their spells to resolve, so Dawn Dragster a pretty premium
Perfect.
card against them as well.
Efecto, vale, directamente. Me sorprende no haber visto aún la SP. Igual no la veo útil. Es lo que no entiendo.
now we're gonna send a Christian cluster. It was pretty much the main help that Isaias had in the previous
Ahora España, grande,
game,
Vicos.
and, you know,
¿Estás en Expoli?
it's definitely a solid card against the Sky Striker deck, but we might need more. And here comes
Lizard
Lizardus,
Dukes.
interestingly enough.
¿Qué tiene pensado con
Lizard
Lizardus?
To draw a card at the end of the combo.
¿Robar una carta?
He's not got anti-spell fragrance in the side.
Could be.
Maybe he does.
banishing itself off the field.
God, can you imagine anti-spell fragrance against
Wow.
Sky Striker?
I feel like that would be a
Se recupera la
throwback.
trampa.
Indeed. I've seen a few going
Me
around,
sorprende mucho.
you know, in the weekend, but for now, I think, I mean, the end looks much better. As
Va a
you
petar, va a
mentioned
sacar
on the
Infinity.
previous game, I mean, it didn't look
Pero es que
all that
SP
close, but
contra...
still, he set up
Es que
a
Staker sí que es
pretty
cierto que es muy malo.
decent field, and
Lo que me
had to
sorprende es
do
que
it
lleve
pretty much
Lizardus en
with
Crystron.
1-2 cards in hand. Now he has a full end of interesting options to shut down Rosalie later on.
Yeah, I mean, he's only used 2 cards to start his combo rather than just the one, but he's just
También te
made
digo, yo
so
sabiendo que
much
juega
difference.
Mega Fleet,
1 + 1 is not equal
harías
to 2, which
Infinity.
is equal to about 10.
parece ser
Now
que
we're
sí.
seeing two level
O saca
5
otro.
overlaid here
Puedes sacar otro.
for Cyber Dragon Nova.
It does have to be a machine, but this time you do have
Claro,
to watch
puedes
out
jugar
before your
el
opponent
Chronomali.
gets to,
Pero yo entiendo que negar Mágica Trampa está más
Yeah,
pesado.
You really have to use
Y le
that
falta el
fucking
robo.
Lizardus. Don't just start the turn with a monster and the extra
Yo lo
monster
haría
instead
así,
of a
Davicho.
Cyber Dragon monster. Oh, could you
Oh,
imagine?
because the Mega Fleet would just
Yeah,
use those two materials. Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
Yeah, looking at that hand, it is massive. I've seen players even use Silhouette Rabbit because you get the cluster as a continuous trap and you can search the other one which negates cards for each continuous trap you have, but that does feel like a little bit too much.
A
Un
little
robo.
Extra, now drawing a card, hoping it's a disruption.
Yep, there's a little bit of clarification here.
Hostia, no sé si roba.
That is how, yeah, Hazard Lizard Dose works.
Porque no modifica ataque, ¿no? Ha hecho 800 a 800.
Yeah, very flexible. Link 2 can just remove itself to draw a card, which I guess is the ticket in a lot of decks.
I wonder if
Claro, es que no
this
modifica el
maybe
ataque.
stopped him from activating an effect or banishing or something.
There's no prosperities or other pots stopping him from drawing. Having a
Imagine
little
it'd be a quick-
discussion.
I guess
Yeah,
we're coming
I
back to
mean,
us.
Yeah, I mean, might as well while we wait for
We
the
have
round
chairs
to be
behind us,
back.
guys.
Yeah,
Surprise!
absolutely.
Ah, tienen
Our feet would hurt pretty
Han
bad if we
resuelto
just
el
had
dilema,
these
tú,
past 5
de
hours
todo
and
el día de
had to
ayer.
conversate
Tienen
with no
sillas.
breaks.
Y se han
Nope, we're
levantado
back in the
ahora.
game. Going back down in the chairs.
And we've missed a little bit of action, but I think it's not too hard to figure out what happened. 3 cards was set, and Isaias has passed his turn. So this Infinity gonna do the trick, hopefully, and gonna use its effect.
Eso,
before getting
porque yo
confused away.
preguntando a ver si se sentaban, le hizo la tarea. Sí, yo creo que los comentaristas dijeron, vamos a ver un poquito la opinión de la gente en las redes. Upstart Goblin. Sí, yo creo que sí, no. Upstart Goblin, una mágica más, una bendición. ¿Cómo se nota que saben que Droll no está en el formato del mundial, tío? Porque como no hay Mitsu, creo que ha robado, no lo sé. Las de atrás son la de petar del arquetipo, la quick play del arquetipo de Canine, la trampa del arquetipo de Crystron y una blind que puede ser Droplet y No se sabe, Vicos. Droplet o Impermanence. Empieza con Engage. Engage con zona mágica. Está pensando Isaías bien sin negarla. Dice que bien. ¿No hace? ¿Y el Tristalos? ¿Y el Tristalos, bro? No entiendo nada tú. No entiendo nada porque no ha hecho Tristalos.
Into a level 7 synchro. Is it the case? Maybe he just doesn't have any level 5 Crystals in the deck, something like that.
A la 3 aún, ya, bro, pero...
Here comes the Ray, and I think once more we have used the effect.
She's not getting away with it this time.
Eso sí que lo quita. Lo va a autopetar. Ah, sí que lo va a autopetar. Esa es la jugada que yo pensaba que iba a hacer al principio.
Yeah.
Seguramente no te... ¿Cómo no va a tener target? Pero si solo ha gastado... Muy inviable que no tenga target. Ah, seguro que tiene target, sí, pero... No sé. Es la segunda.
Very flexible card in terms of what it can do.
Va, pero ¿cómo vas a quitar? No tiene sentido. Para añadir de... Uff. Aquí lo bueno... As. Criminales As. Vale. Bueno, puede... Aquí, mira. Aquí lo que puede hacer es encadenar la Quick Play. Ahora encadena la Quick Play, le parte a 7 a 1, ¿no? Ah, vale, hay una set, no la vi.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why wouldn't you just activate this way sooner, and then you would have had this spell negate, because the later you leave a negation like this, sometimes your opponents like snuck through a few more effects, like maybe you really don't want this linkage to resolve.
Debería quedarle, sí. A ver, puede que juegue 4 nombres. ¿Se va a añadir Engage? Ah, no, tributa directamente para partir. Ah, es buena opción.
Are we just activating Rose on summon, or was there something that destroyed it? Maybe it's just straight. Maybe she's just activating it immediately when it's been summoned.
A ver, el efecto de invocar y partir una no está mal, porque le va a dar salida.
Yeah, you do have, priority to use a quick effect on the summon as long as there aren't any triggers. So sometimes it's worth it just to stop any shenanigans from happening from the opponent. Just activate it immediately in case your opponent has some like non-targeting removal. You see this Dawn Dragster, it's just going to get cleared up.
Una otra. Muy buena quitarse a Reaper, porque ahora ya no puede hacer la Quick Play.
We know that there is the force release face down that now is going to be completely useless. So, yeah, definitely an interesting sequence. I agree with you, Tom. And as you can see, Rosalie has a lot of options still available.
Kagari, recuperar mágica. ¿No? ¿De qué?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of cards from Isaiah have not been used to their fullest potential. That force release not getting activated.
¡Oh!
Okay, so Sky Striker Ace
Azulea para partir. Quitar la trampa es muy bueno, porque literalmente le quitas todo el grindeo al mazo.
Yeah, even with all this, Isaiah's just
Y ahora puede rotarla. Puede pegar, partir.
Hundreds.
Qué bien jugado, tú.
It's a ton of cards. I'm just giving you a hard time there. And now, yeah, the Dawn Dragster just seemed like it was just
Muy bien jugado, Muy bien jugado. Y ahora ya comba. Lo tiene. Impermanence bien forzado.
On the end, saved by Isaías to stop that engage from being added back.
Y aún le queda la Shizuku y añadir. Tiene recovery Cristiano, pero con la trampa en cementerio pierde muchísimo, os lo digo, Sí, está jugando muy bien, la Sky.
I can't remember exactly the types. I'm just wondering if the Sky Striker meets any of them. I know, funnily enough, Ryziel Detonator does. meet one of them. So you can just like activate it, search a card, and then banish it and take your opponent's detonator, which is an absolutely ridiculous interaction.
Yeah.
But I don't think it works on any of the Sky Striker monsters, but worth a read from Isaias just in case. I think it has to be light or dark.
But here we get one of the most interesting cards also all the way back at the European Championship, that Lemnis Gate, just giving so much recursion to the Sky Striker deck. And
Lichea se está
that's gonna be
sudando,
an issue going forward. But most importantly, if
Top
you're
sin límite de
right,
tiempo,
and there
sí.
was that solemn judgment, that might be good even going
Konami
second
ha
in this
decidido
instance, you know.
tomar
Yeah,
decisiones
sometimes when you draw those cards that you plan
de
for
jugar
going
los tops
first,
sin
as long
límite
as
de
you can
tiempo.
break through the field that's established,
Que no lo veo mal,
it
¿eh?
can actually be quite useful in the same vein as if you went first, because then now you have control of the field.
Absolutely, what a back and forth, but I think we have drawn into a case for K9, is it?
Es que Sky contra Luna
Anyways,
Light, la
from
semifinal sería muy
ECS,
buena,
still
¿eh?
a lot to do, and yes, it is a case for K9 indeed, trying to get access
Case.
once more to this Justice Hunters archetype.
Lantern has already been used, has it? Or is there still option to draw it?
It has been used turn 1, this tool.
You just got to watch out for any more. Has Isaias even kept in his Azunas? Because it feels like Rosalie's just...
No, sí, sí. A ver, en el tiempo suizo lo veo bien,
any cards that
porque
will-
necesitas que se jueguen un borrón de rondas, pero
comes Joker.
un top 8. Top
Yeah,
8 de
even though the
mundial,
field
¿qué más
is
está?
destroyed, plenty of ways for the K9 cards to get to the
Lleva
field.
Kaiju,
It could be Joker,
La,
Kaiju,
seguramente la Sky
both these
Striker.
monsters being
Yo no sabría
special
decirte.
to the field.
But
No,
now
pero
also the question
las reglas
becomes
de
how
los
many
torneos de
extra
Yugi, ya os lo
deck
digo,
options we have. We have
se
used
aplican
quite a
siempre unas
few
distintas
going
al Top
first
Cut.
from
Al Top Cut no
Isaias,
sería doble derrota, sería
and,
suizo.
I mean,
De hecho, yo
yes,
mi partida de
Zeus is
Top Cut
always there,
llegué a tiempo y
always a
fue
mine for
muerte
the Sky
súbita.
Striker deck to deal with, but yeah, rank 5s are getting slim.
Well, there's got to be something left. He's either got some Christrons or some rank 5s. Surely. Sending another Joker, which is interesting when he's got that Chaotic
Vale.
Elements in hand, which I think Joker is the only target for. So maybe he just sent the third Joker there. But added a Lupus.
Here comes Lupus, and one card in hand from
Vale.
We tried our best to play around this additional normal
Lo veo
summon
con...
effects from the
Tuvieron un duelo
K9
con... No, no,
monsters,
yo
and
te digo,
let's
yo aquí
find
lo
out
veo muy
what is
complicado,
going to be the
para
success
Isaías.
summoned
Porque ¿qué
by
rango 4 va a
Isaías.
sacar? La princesa, esto se lo va a
Oh,
negar.
this is a very powerful rank 5, can be used
Yeah.
to special summon some more from the grave. We saw it used to great effect in Master Duel yesterday to special summon
Indeed.
some very impactful rank 5s to the
Sí,
opponent's side of the field.
ya estáis ahí en
Now
el
we're just
chat,
gonna be
no pasa
summoning
nada.
Probably our own back.
Yep, the Imperial Princess, Queen Query can
¡Juicio!
stand
¡Al
place
carrer!
further.
That is something I love about the K9 cards is you have to kind of take a look at all rank 5s
Lo de
that have
meterse a
ever been
juicio yendo
released and how they can
segundo,
be useful
increíble,
in today's terms.
Increíble, tú.
You were right, Tom. There was the solemn judgment, maybe with Rosalie thinking that she was going to go first, so
Vale,
this is gonna
bien.
shut it down. Definitely
Tremendo ese
not what
juicio.
Isaías was
Es que está sin
expecting,
grindeo, ¿eh?
while going,
Isaías está en una
first,
situación que no
but
tiene grindeo.
Chaotic Elements
Tiene
added
3.
from the
¡Oh!
graveyard.
¡Le parte el backrow!
Wait, is it destroying something as well?
I mean, we have to count if there are enough pyro in
Oh,
monsters, I guess.
¡Qué buena esa parte del backrow!
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That was just devastating. I did not realize it could add from the grave, but yeah, adding back a lantern and then
Yeah,
oh, this is crazy.
Lantern's huge. Is gonna be able
No
to
sé si
summon
llevará
back a level 5
un
monster and
segundo...
summon from the
Una
hand.
segunda Reaper. Con una segunda
Get
Reaper,
a non-stop access
Una
to
segunda Reaper le
level
da.
5 after level 5 after level 5.
Yeah, here comes one more rank 5. Maybe
mira,
but like Valon not so good. He does have that Chronomaly. Be used as an extra monster negate. How big is the Shizuku is another question. Rosalie just kind of smiling to herself.
I mean, yeah, might as well do. The graveyard is full of spells, but I don't believe we are on 10 yet, so it's gonna be a close one for sure. And you can see
Vale.
Isaías looking at his graveyard
va a pegar.
fully.
Yo no lo haría,
Really
¿eh?
no way to get back into the Crystron.
Exceed.
Apparently not. And look at this extra deck. One of the few
Valon.
options left, the Valon.
Para hacer un Zeus.
Valon not so great against Sky Striker. It might be against some of the other matchups that you'd face in the World Championship.
But yeah, we can
Efecto en cementerio.
the Ray back, and without that Izuna, this might be a worrying one because the face down effect doesn't really do anything against Sky Striker.
Pero lo hace para Zeus.
Can she pull this off again? I mean, I guess you can make Zeus, but
Zeus would be much better than Valon, and that is what Isaias is going to summon here.
so
Zeus with only 3 materials, it's only going to have one
Wow.
opportunity to use the effect.
I mean, really trying his best, but in the end, even once more, when it seems
Efecto,
like
limpia
everything was
todo.
over, we're activating the effect.
No le queda otra.
I think we accidentally, I mean, we knew what the card was
Está
anyway.
pensando si encadenar. Porque la Rose no me acuerdo. Era creo por carta del rival.
Yeah, I guess
Y aquí creo que la continua le hace efecto que se setearía la quick play, pero no lo hace.
What is it gonna do?
Lupus. ¿Iba a hacer Typhoon? No creo. Lo deja como cuerpo.
I guess, yeah.
Is there a reason to have it on the field? Is there another way to get another
Sí, yo creo que no
monster?
estoy viendo.
Especially not in defense mode. You gotta stick to your
Está
guns.
en bragas,
He's only
eh.
got 200 defense. That's
Wow.
not very many.
Mínima jugada de
I think that's
Sky
it.
y
I
gana.
mean, the last card in hand is a pretty good one, but oof, I mean, it's gonna get close. I think on the other hand, maybe Rosalie. Also, there was a different line where once she got that Sky Striker monster on the field, she could have just used it right away there to get a card back, and thought about this Zeus, and I think this would have completely closed this game
But
out.
only 1 card in hand, drawing to 2.
Yeah.
What is she going to have to deal with the Zeus?
Upstart.
Wait, Tom's
There it
favorite
is.
card, Upstart Goblin.
Oh
There
no,
it is.
you cannot. Can you?
Otra
Do it,
oportunidad.
Do it. Do it. He did.
It's
Ash
Ash
Blossom on
Blossom.
Upstart
Ah, so plus,
Goblin.
a
An
Boomstar.
Astral Goblin, and we know the last card in
Hay
hand
Gain
from
3.
Rosalie.
Todo
Of
ataque.
course,
Hay
the-
Gain 3.
Wow.
And he has enough damage on the field with the Zeus. Maybe he summoned the Lupus because he knew he would need the damage on the following turn, so he needed the monster. So he just summons it out there because now he can put both his monsters into attack mode.
Getting out his pen to add up 3,000 and 2,300. just
That's
to check.
absolutely
It's
incredible.
more than 3,500.
How many times have you heard a joke about using Ash Blossom on Upstart Goblin? And to see it happen here in the quarterfinals of the World Championship, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that is unbelievable, and you can see Rosalie smilingly, looking at the camera. We know the last card fence
Bueno,
down
Lupus
is
en
the
ataque y ataca.
Ladmin's Gate, which could potentially spin something back to the end, but it's gonna be so close here.
Yeah, how many
Text.
monsters are there? Sky Strikers. There's got to be a
¿Qué tiene
couple, right?
cementerio?
Unless
Yeah.
we'll get rid of the Zeus and potentially the Lupus, because Lupus will
Sobrevive.
be banished.
Absolutely, and there it is. She's gonna activate.
Van a
the
la mano
bouncing
todos.
back both
Y eso se
to the
retira.
end.
Ha sobrevivido, eh.
Six. That's 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
No te creo.
6.
¡Ha sobrevivido! ¡Se
then
retira el
goes
Lupus!
returned.
¡Hala, hala, hala,
Done.
hala!
Lupus
¡Qué
is gonna
partida
get
tú!
Banished. It doesn't
¡Lluvio!
get much better
Oh, that's
than
right.
this. Both
No,
do
esa
is
no la
down
esperaba,
to
eh.
top deck mode. What
No me lo
was the
esperaba,
draw
madre
for
mía.
Isaias here?
How many times have we seen a top deck of Sky Striker Mobilize engage in the
Oh,
past?
wow.
Will
Madre
we see
mía.
one here?
But there are so many good cards that you
Yeah,
can
beyond
draw here.
that,
Like
yeah.
so many. It's all coming down to this card.
Y ahora
but
como
what can he
robe.
even do at this point? Like,
Como
the action
robe.
deck is so
Eh,
thin.
¿Combo?
Yeah, Rosalie, though,
GG, eh?
sitting there with just having shoveled all the cards back into the deck. Everything is live.
Madre
for
mía.
Rosalie, nothing live for Isaias. The main thing going
Dale
for
una
him
raye.
is different
Dale
in
una
life points,
raye.
'cause Sky
And it's a
Striker can't
pass.
do it all.
What is it going to be? Crucial draw. It's
Terraforming.
terraforming. That's not quite it, is it?
Vacía área
It's
cero.
just area
No, she
zero.
has chicken game.
No, qué partida.
Chicken
No he
game.
fijado.
Oh,
¿Qué ha hecho?
Chicken game.
Chicken game.
We're about to play
Baja
a
bien.
chicken
Wow.
game
Un
here in the
robito, una ilusión.
quarterfinals.
Un robito, una
Absolutely
ilusión.
insane.
No
The
te
life
creo,
point
Chicken
difference will
Game.
continue.
Oh wow, and this will give Dan an option for Isaias as well.
What a
¡Wow!
real throwback to these Sky Striker cards. Just say, give me
Te prometo
any
que no
spell,
entiendo nada que
draws a
estoy viendo.
card,
Yeah.
and then puts itself in the grave. Rosalie just, got to draw that one ray, and that might seal the deal.
So many good draws available to
Esto es
Rosalie.
cine,
Can
eh.
she find
Partida de
any
cine,
of
tú.
the Sky Striker card? What is it going to be? Looking in the air,
And the
and no,
set spell and trap
just a face
Played
down.
back to Isaias.
Isaias
draws,
puede
that's not a
partir.
card he can summon.
not
Mizuna.
quite. But you can use the chicken game.
We're playing
Dude,
the
use the chicken game. Use the
Is he
chicken
gonna
game.
destroy it, or is he gonna draw a card?
¿La va a partir?
You have to draw. You have to draw. This is your chance.
Oh.
Draw.
Oof, bold decision. It's a draw.
Oh no.
Of a draw on Lockbird.
I mean, I guess you can.
No te
use the
creo lo que
next
estoy
turn
viendo,
once
tú.
That chicken game activates again, but what is this game turning?
¡Pasa
into?
turno!
That chicken game
Otro robo.
play is back to Roselli.
Paga
Roseli's
1000,
gonna
otro
pay
robo.
another
Madness.
1,000 life points.
Oh wow!
Cine,
To draw
tú.
another card of
Ojito
chicken
y combo.
game.
Here we're gonna see
Droll.
the
Draw on the
Lockbird.
Le tira el troll por el
Chicken
robo del Chicken Game.
What is going on? Because
Imagine she actually drew engage, but gets drolled
Yeah.
on the chicken game. That would
Nah, este top 8, tú, ¿qué es este top 8?
Unbelievable. Do we finally get
Raye!
also
Ray! It's Ray! A huge draw.
¡Raye!
and he can't
Pa,
use
pa,
the
pa, pa.
Phantasme because of the
¡Full
draw on
Yugi!
Lockbird.
¡Esto es Aura, tú!
Oh my,
Toma
you
por
couldn't
culo.
write this.
Pego, efecto,
Absolutely.
venga.
Look at this.
Cine.
Goes to battle phase, attacks with Ray, uses the effect.
Pega,
to tag
otro
out for
golpecito.
Hayate. Hayate is
No
going to
entiendo
attack
nada, tío.
directly.
OTK, no creo que sea
Cards
OTK,
on the
bro.
other side and gonna send
No creo que
his
sea
action
OTK.
card from the deck to
¿Qué es
the
esto, tú?
graveyard.
Usually you get the engage, but in this case you can't activate engage, so it's not going to be quite it. You can see that linkage, such a powerful card, but
Madre
we're
mía.
gonna move on to
Akari puede hacer
main
linkage,
phase 2 using
pero no.
that Kagari to add it back to the end. And look at this, what is Rosalie even able to accomplish and having this possible win?
Yeah, but is that Kagari just gonna stay on the field?
Yeah.
Because
Vale,
if it
no le queda ni
is,
Suzus y Sizus.
Can you switch off your own chicken game?
Tiene elementos caóticos, eso es muy bueno, porque le va a
That's the
partir.
best draw for Isaiah, surely.
Yeah, that's one of
Alright,
the
so
better
he
cards.
needs to get rid of the chicken game so he can do damage at some point.
But you can just pay 1,000 to
Just by
destroy
itself,
it.
yeah, instead
Yep.
of drawing. But chaotic elements, huge draw here from Isaiah's.
What a draw, but we
Qué
have
partida.
to play through this linkage as well, and yes, it's going to be a 50, and now you pick up.
Adds the
Se está leyendo el
layer.
Lantern.
What is Rosalie thinking when she's she's saying, "Let me read this lantern. What's it gonna do in the hand?" There's got to be a couple of canines in the grave, so you can't really get rid of a target first.
Qué partida, tío.
Yeah,
I cannot believe.
Está
we
durando
just
ese
played
Cristón, están
chicken
durando
game.
ambos.
it's crazy, absolutely crazy, and oh, it's gonna come down also.
Mira
to
el
the number of
cementerio que
spells.
tiene,
We've
tú.
shuffled back a fair amount, to be
Más
honest.
cementerio que deck. Hay más
And
cementerio que
that
deck ahora
Kagari,
mismo.
we can't be quite
Una de las
sure
sets tiene
how
que ser
big
una
it
Eclipse.
is. And
Alright,
yes,
he's
we
gonna
are
use the-
paying.
¡Otro
He
robo!
wants to draw, so if he wants to win this turn, he's going to have to do something else to destroy the chicken game because the player with the lower life points doesn't take any damage.
¡Otro robo!
And It's going
Imperma.
to be a defensive card.
Yeah,
It's probably not what he was looking for.
Not quite what he
Not
was
gonna
looking
do it. How's
for.
Rosalie still got enough life points to keep using this chicken game? Is she actually on 1,500?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! But she can't take any damage while the chicken game is in play.
Yeah, what a card that was.
Sí, sí, sí. Aquí hay cine, tú.
Can make a rank 5, but what is your rank 5 going
Do
to
you
do?
even have any rank 5s left at this point? That's the question. So,
Ojo de jugada.
Oh, you have imperm to set the attack lower.
wow, you can see really Isaiah's thinking about this so much. It has been such a long duel.
¿Le ha pasado turno?
We
It's a
can't be more
pass.
glad. And it's a pass. Oh, wow. It is a pass. And now, yeah, Rosalie just gonna make sure that she doesn't do any mistakes, you know.
Es que ahora
checking that
mismo,
second
tío,
effect of the
no
chaotic
sé si sois
elements, taking
conscientes,
control
pero
of a monster.
tiene opción de
But
OTK
is
real.
it gonna be that throw?
Que está a 4000.
Does she have even more Kagaris? She must do.
Is it just an attack?
¿Cuántas mágicas tiene en
What a
cementerio?
close match. You can feel the tension going. And it's going
Pega.
to be just an attack.
¡Solo ataca!
Got more
Wow.
tricks
This is just
in
the
battle phase.
never-ending
What
game.
is going on? What is in the extra deck left
That's
for
it.
Rosalie?
But Phantasma is going to be able to come down. Can't
Oh,
go too fast.
that was
Otra
very
Kagari.
quick indeed.
Okay,
Yeah.
Maybe you got to slow it down there. But
Phantasme.
he's okay with waiting to the Kagari to
Yeah.
activate the Phantasma. But maybe there was an opportunity to use it on the Kaina there.
For sure. I mean, for sure there was, but apparently is
It like blinked out onto the field.
Nah,
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be done this way for Isaiah because he has infinite impermanence, so you can negate
Ojo.
a
The Kagari,
Kagari.
true.
Yeah.
True. Good spot there, and apparently, yeah, Rosalie is thinking about this.
I think they're saying
Phantasme.
just to like to slow down the play and not play as quickly in the future, because yeah, you definitely need to give your opponent an opportunity to respond.
Was there an attack even? It sort of
there
looked
was.
like
Yeah,
it.
there was.
Yeah,
It's down to 1900 now.
Sí, sí, 2 episodios completos, ¿eh? Esto lo narran nivel anime.
You know, a check. He needs to, you know, when it comes to Rosalie, that's what she's clarifying with the judges, that she gave enough time, and now she's targeting. But there goes the Black Gold Loves
An
and
infinite impermanence.
Buena
She's
impermanence.
targeting the Sky Striker ace Kagari.
What a game.
Everything getting negated.
Zapata per un
Nobody
top
being
8.
able to do anything.
Yeah,
What
Chicken
is the text of Phantasmic? I assume it has to destroy. And she's
Oof.
lost the chicken game. She's paid 1,000 to destroy.
Pa' que no
it.
robe.
500 life points
Wow.
remaining. One more
Sabe que
card
está
to the
briqueado.
spell and trap zone. The Kagari's going to the graveyard for what can only be a Sky Striker Ace Shizuku. In phase, it's going to add a Sky Striker spell that's not in the graveyard, and we have not seen
Ni la he visto.
Mobilize engage. And now this is the turn Isaias needs to close out the duel.
Es que se ha
or
reciclado con la.
Rosalie will be moving
Con una
on to
mágica
top
hizo
4.
recovery.
Yeah, absolutely brave play by the
Que tiene su step game, tío.
European WCQ, deciding to pop her own chicken game, and now one more draw for Isaias. Can he pull a miracle off? Can he bring himself back into this quarterfinal?
¿Qué es eso?
And
Es verde.
Is it foolish,
Foolish
Burial?
Burial. Does that do anything?
Oof.
No hace nada, Fullis.
I don't know
No
what
hace nada.
option
So
Party
many
has
draws.
left.
Esto es
So
2-0,
many
¿eh?
draws that just have no
Va a pegar de 1005 y va a pasar
Absolutely. I mean,
turno.
it feels like
Setea
he's
una
gone
carta por
through so
setear.
much, now she is aware of both the Lantern, the Phantasmai, and must be wondering what's left for the American player.
I think
Aguanten.
that statue is going to do the trick.
Checking again extra deck option and activating
Qué
this
partida, tú.
Foolish Burial.
Fullis Burial.
He just needs anything. I mean, I
¿Tiene
don't know how
algo?
much spells
Está
there are
vaciando
in
deck.
Grave.
His
What is
deck is
even
almost
there?
completely depleted. Only a few cards left there in the deck.
Doesn't seem like there is much going on there, and you can see him just debating whether to simply send an Izuna. That must not be a good sign.
Se quita una Izuna.
Yeah, not really what you want to send, because you could have just searched it with a Joko.
Wow, and here comes the last push pretty much from Isaias.
Entra.
Using this Lantern to bring back the Izuna. Do we have another option in the extra deck? At this point, we must be down to like 5 cards left. And I believe we are gone through everything, but only one remaining card.
There must have been 6 spells, because Isaias took
Las otras dos.
that
Una
much
Droplet.
damage, 2,100.
traviesa
which
está ahí,
does mean the Izuna on 2-4 is bigger than Shizuku, but not by
Claro,
much.
esto ya no es
It's
briquear, esto es que no le quedan
2,500
cartas.
damage.
¿Cuánto quita ataque? Ni idea, bro.
And it
100 por
seems like,
mágica.
we are actually gonna go and
Tribute
tribute
summon.
for
¡No!
Judgment.
Atributa el
What
fantasma y
is
se ha comido
going
juicio.
Now
¡No!
Isaias only has one card in hand. Passes back to
¡Un
Rosalie.
monstruo!
And we know the engage is in the
Oh!
end. There comes the engage. No response. Only 1900 damage.
¡A tomar
needed
por
for
culo!
Rosalie
The
to
five-
bring
the
this
Es que hay a
500 got half to
semifinales.
250.
Oh, wow.
¡Es que hay a
What a
semifinales!
match. I'm so
¡Qué
glad that
match!
there's no time limit
¡Qué
for this one, 'cause
match!
I'm sure we would be
Increíble.
way over. And
Increíble, tú.
at this ending.
No hay otra palabra,
I don't
increíble.
even know what was going to
Cine.
happen if the Phantasmic contribute summon, to be honest, but
It's
there we go.
the way this
Pega.
game's been going. Shizuku's gonna attack.
No se ha
400
añadido
life
bicho.
points
The
left.
linkage,
Es
400
linkage.
life points left.
Link is
We
gonna
know
be
the last
activated.
card
Phantasmay?
is the Izuna.
¿Es Phantasmay?
So it's gonna come down to this one more push, and we know it's enough.
Sky Striker. Ace.
And
¡Buah!
there is the end shake.
¡Qué partida!
Rosalie takes the match
Partidaza.
2-0.
Partidaza,
What
bro.
a comeback, what a feat. Takes
Partida
Sky
de
Striker all the
desgaste,
way down to the semifinals
Partida de mucho
against
grindeo,
Top.
muchas tomas de
Absolutely
decisiones.
incredible. I'm just-
Y con esto
I
ya
don't even
entramos
know
a
what to
semifinal.
say against the
Recuerda
Push on
que estoy
KO
haciendo
deck.
todos los vídeos
Having a
ronda a
solemn
ronda de lo que es el
but
mundial
going
aquí en vivo y en
second, but
directo.
still
Te
just
invito a
saying,
que te
okay, I'm just
pases
gonna-
aquí
I'm just gonna
al
clear your
canal
whole
y eso
field
sería
and
todo.
set
Nos vemos con las
and as a
semifinales.
result, multiple solemn